Kazi, my people, Babita's soul is not resting. Babita's soul is working overtime. Babita was brutally murdered while she was trying to expose the rot in South Africa, while she was trying to expose the tenderpreneurs who are actually dragging us down as Black people, as South Africans as a whole. Our own leaders, our own people that we trust or we trusted. Babita's soul keeps on showing off. May her soul rest in peace. One of the tenderpreneurs who's very well known, allegedly he is Cyril Ramaphosa's nephew. His house is getting raided as we speak. His house is under an intense investigation in Sandton. A 3-story house in Sandton. So that means a very expensive house. They seized his luxury cars, his supercars. And he's one of the people that were mentioned in the findings of Babita's findings, the Babita's findings. Babita was brutally murdered after she dropped her kids at a school. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we've got an article that we need to go through it, because at this point of time, we need these people to be exposed. We need these people to be exposed, and we need these people to face the music. That's what I'm saying. But Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. If you are new, please make sure you don't leave without subscribing. Like this video, it helps a lot. And also, please do comment down below with your own thoughts. Let's quickly get into this article because, wow, things are happening. There's a lot to talk about, but I had to try to choose one, which is this one. And it was something that is a burning issue because we are in this position in this country. It's because of the shit that is going on within our government and all the tenderpreneurs and all people that are connected to the politicians, to our own government. Let's get into it. So I'm going to give props to IOL for this article that we are about to go through. It's not a big article. It's a very small article because this thing is still going on. There's a huge investigation that is still happening. And obviously, we're not going to get all the information all at once. The heading says, inside the SIU's 820 million raid on Hangwani Maumela's luxury Sandton mansion. The Special Investigation Unit SIU has raided the luxury Sandton home of a businessman Hangwani Maumela, seizing high-end vehicles and artwork as part of an 820 million asset recovery operation tied to a wholesale looting at Tembisa Hospital. The Thursday morning operation unfolded at Maumela's upmarket Sandhurst residence, where law enforcement officials, locksmiths, and removal truck entered under a special tribunal order. Among the items taken were Lamborghini, designer furniture, and valuable works of art believed to have been purchased with proceeds of corrupt hospital contracts. Ngwako Maitseng, SIU Senior Communications Manager, said, the SIU confirms an operation took place at a Sandhurst home linked to our Tembisa Hospital investigation. This operation is part of implementing the SIU's investigation outcome and consequence management. We will communicate further once the legal processes have been finalized. The raid supports a 300 million furniture case targeting Maumela's assets and those of his associates. According to media reports, the crackdown is part of a broader 820 million sweep, reflecting the scale of assets under scrutiny. Maumela, a well-connected businessman, is known of companies that secured lucrative government contracts across Gauteng and other provinces. His firm allegedly supplied medical consumables, catering and cleaning services through manipulated procurement processes that favored a tight network of politically connected suppliers. According to a recent IOL report, the SIU's investigations have uncovered 3 coordinated syndicates responsible for looting over 2 billion rands from Tembisa Hospital Fund. In that report, SIU head advocate Ndi Mutibi described the findings as a devastating plunder of public funds, saying the corruption betrayed public trust and harmed vulnerable patients depending on hospital care. The IOL story also cites that Maumela and his entities are flagged in the late Babita Deokaran's forensic report, previously implicating 14 companies linked to Maumela in contracts worth 415 million rands. The SIU's interim findings place Maumela at the heart of a syndicate that manipulated procurement thresholds, split contracts, and routed inflated payments through front companies. Collectively, the syndicate under investigation are alleged to have adverted more than 2 billion intended for medical supplies, equipment and services. The scandal itself traces back to whistleblower Dukuren, who in 2021 exposed procurement irregularities at Tembisa Hospital. Her report flagged suspicious payments to both the Maumela and Mazibuko networks, and she was assassinated weeks later. The revelations from her disclosures sparked deeper audits by the Treasury Specialized Audit Service and eventual ICU involvement. The ICU already holds freezing orders on numerous Maumela properties and bank accounts across South Africa, including in Gauteng, Cape Town, and KZN, which is KwaZulu-Natal. Officials say Thursday's raids is part of a sustained campaign to recover assets tied to public sector corruption. The ICU full report on Tembisa Hospital is still awaited. Through investigations, note the case is complex and far from closed. So guys, as I said, may Babita's soul continue haunting each and everyone who was implicated in her report. And those people should tell us who ordered the assassination of Babita. And those people are very linked to our biggest politicians in this country. So each and every time you open your mouth, you know that you are going to be... Watch this video and enjoy it while at it. Enjoy it. And hopefully we're not going to stop hearing about stories like this and this exact story.
Lamborghini, one of the 3 cars so far, Lopang, that we've seen coming out of this tycoon's 3-story mansion in Sandton, in Sandhurst.
Yeah, what a sight, actually. We've seen many cars stop by to try and figure out what kind of cars these are. Now, we've just seen 3 Lamborghini vehicles being loaded onto this particular truck. So 2 of them are quite small and one seems to be an SUV. All of them in the same color, that blue color that you see there. And those are the 3 cars that have been removed thus far. We'll try and get confirmation if any more luxury vehicles will be seen being removed or seized rather from this property. So Paul, we don't have an official comment, but from SIU rather. But we have somewhat of a line from them where they say this operation is basically part of implementing the Special Investigating Unit's investigation outcomes and consequence management. So they also do say that they'll communicate further once the legal processes have been finalized. And this is word from Wako Mutieng, who's the Senior Communications Manager of the Special Investigating Unit. You'd also notice just outside the house, inside, this is now the first time we'd be able to get visuals from this particular house, and our colleague Qaibin Jokweni will just show you, give you those visuals rather, as well as also just to talk about some of the people who've stopped by here. We've seen quite a number of cars. You'd notice that cars are still making their way past this particular stretch of the road, and it might have been quite easier if this particular part of the road was blocked to make their process smoother. But as things stand, those vehicles have been seized. I'm hoping you can get a clearer visual at this point. We also see some jokes being made by the people inside, where you'd notice quite a smaller vehicle. There we get another visual of those cars. So 3 of the same cars, of the same brand of cars rather. We've confirmed that those are Lamborghinis, all at the same color. Now the SUV, which you might not see, was loaded first, is said to have less than 500 kilometers on the clock. That means that car is quite brand new, and so are these other 2. But that SUV particularly is the one where I saw that just under 500 kilometers on that particular vehicle. Not too certain what more they will be bringing out, but as things stand, some of the smaller items have been seized, including some files as we would have seen earlier, and now these luxury vehicles that have just been loaded onto the truck. That is one of the 3 trucks that we are actually seeing.
So in a country where tax is so high, where food is vetted, we've got a very high vet, we've got everything is just too expensive, we've got fewer levies, the toll gates are expensive, everything is quite expensive. And our president, who recently said he is actually unleashing the state of emergency for our economy in this country, while he knows exactly what is going on in this country, he knows the corruption, the rot in any government entity and anything that has to do with government. The rot is so much that himself, as a president, he is rotten to the core. What happened to the story of Phala Phala? We still want to know what happens with the story of Phala Phala, because if it was you, as a regular South African, you were found to have dollars in your couch, you were going to be behind bars as soon as possible. And the reason why I am not effing with anyone who is associating with the ANC is because I feel like they have a say, but they don't want to say it because they are eating with the ANC, including every single person within that GNU. Every single person within that GNU, they went there, they had a very loud mouth. And when they were sitting on those seats, enjoying the privileges of driving around with a blue light, they are now quiet. Very, 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 very quiet. Very quiet. So, as I said, I would like to make a story. I will compile a story of Babita and try to make a video of Babita, because this lady is very important. She might be gone, but her name will always pass through. She is very important within this thing. She wanted to fight for this country by revealing, by exposing the rot. What did they do in this country? As always, if you stand with the truth, you are going to stand alone and you are going to be killed. That's what happened to her. That's what happened to her. Simple. Whatever industry that you are in this country, if you've got a loud mouth, if you are exposing the rot, you must count your days. That's what this country is about. We are in Mexico. We are actually in Mexico. We are dealing with cartels. We are dealing with cartels who are dressing in suits and driving around with blue lights. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. Please do me a favor, subscribe, like this video, comment down below with your own thoughts. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one. Peace.